Beauty is normal in our lives, but how it is defined and attained differs from one culture to the other. Different cultures have their own fashions and ways to be stunning, and in this age, most of us define beauty by makeup, fashion, and being fit, and sometimes even spend money just to beautify ourselves. Throughout human history, the world has witnessed several unusual and downright bizarre traditions when it comes to upholding standards of beauty. Through the ages, standards of beauty and the means to achieve them have tested our limits for gross and gag-inducing phantom pains. So in this video, I'll be showing you some of the different and unusual forms of beauty standards that have existed and still exist from all over the world. They might look unusual for others, but that's the symbol of beauty for those certain cultures. I am Maria and welcome to my YouTube channel. Elongated necks amongst the Kayan women in Myanmar. It is not uncommon to see women wearing brass coil rings when wandering in the mountain tops of Myanmar. The Kayan women were known to practice the art of neck rings in the pursuit of beauty. Young girls from the age of 8 will start with 5 coils and gradually adding onto the numbers as they grew older. Contrary to the popular belief, the neck ring only creates an illusion that their necks grew longer, and they can remove the rings without their necks flopping under them. Facial scars in Sudan. Men and women belonging to the Dinka tribe in South Sudan get their faces scarred when they hit adolescence, as a mark of courage for men and beauty for women. The process involves making patterns with several deep cuts on the face with the help of a hot knife. The scars are then treated with plant juices and dark pigments to raise the skin when the wounds heal. Ohaguro, meaning black teeth in Japan. While today's world is all about teeth that look disturbingly white, Japan was all about darkening them to a pitch black. Introduced around 200 AD, Ohaguro was the method of dyeing teeth black, mostly with a solution made of iron fillings and vinegar. It was believed that blackening prevented tooth decay and looked attractive in ancient Japan. The ritual continued till about the 17th century, after which it became something limited to men belonging to the Japanese aristocracy. The common folk only blackened their teeth for special occasions, and now the tradition has slowly started to wane out. The Maasai tribe in southern Kenya is a sight you definitely cannot miss when exploring the mountainous regions. Decked out in colorful shawls and clothes, the Maasai women also sport a unique accessory, which are dangling earrings hanging from the stretched earlobes. Using nature's creations, they will use heavy objects such as tusks, stones, and wood to expand their hole and gradually increasing the size of them to create drooping earlobes. Seen as a mark of beauty, the women often pair their earrings with matching headscarves and shoes with intricate handmade accessories. Lotus feet or bound feet in China. One of the most barbaric beauty practices, Chinese foot binding, involved crushing the arc of the foot at a young age and painfully binding it tightly for years to achieve a small, desirable foot size. Bound or lotus feet were seen as a sign of beauty and opulence, and was somewhat of a status symbol for women from wealthy families, as it meant women could afford to bind their feet as they did not need to work. After multiple protests over the years, foot binding finally got banned in the 20th century owing to the recognition of the health risks and barbarism. Tattooed lips and faces among the Maori tribe in New Zealand. Known as Tamoko, the Maori people wear symbols of their culture and status on their body in form of tattoos. The traditional way of doing it was to use a rake-like object to dig into their skin, breaking the surface and using flat-edged knife to line the patterns carved with black ink. Today, many of them opt for the modern tattoo gun as it is more convenient and leaves cleaner lines. As the head is revered as the most sacred part of the human body, the Maori people are more commonly seen with their face and lips tattooed. Males are spotted with facial tattoos, while females would get their lower part of their face and lips inked. Chalk-covered bodies amongst the Kara people in Ethiopia. Intricate patterns line the bodies of the people from the Kara tribe, smeared on with the white chalk and occasionally mixed with red ochre. The people here view the spiraling motifs as a mark of beauty, with both men and women who actively practice this form of visual art. For the tribesmen especially, they use these marks as their first line of defense. It is also a form of intimidation for rivals and enemies alike. Scarring of their bodies is also not uncommon, as they are seen as courageous acts and are traditionally accepted as attractive. Elongated skulls in the ancient Mayan civilization. The ancient Mayans believed that the size of their skull was a direct indication of their status in society. In order to artificially elongate their otherwise human-sized skull, the Mayans would first place the head of their young ones as young as 5 days old in between two boards. The head was to be tightly tied onto the boards, which were then pressed together for days with ample pressure to achieve a long skull. Though waning out, the bizarre tradition or method is still being practiced among tribes in Congo and Peru. Curvy body figures amongst rural villages in Mauritania. In Mauritania, it is very common to see plus-sized women walking down the alleys. After all, a voluptuous and curvy body is considered as a symbol of wealth and beauty there. This has led to the establishment of feeding camps that feed young girls from the age of 8 unhealthy portions of food daily, in a bid to gain weight quickly. Many here seem to hold on to the belief that the bigger the girl is, the more beautiful she is, which means that the practice may not die off soon. Lip plates among the Musi, Che, and Tima tribes in Africa. Commonly seen in the Musi women, their lips are stretched out with small clay plates and eventually swapped out for bigger ones as they grow older. Seen as a mark of their identity and beauty, many of them still manage to dance and sing gracefully during local festivals. And though they still have slight changes to their pronunciation of words, it does not actually interfere with their daily lives apart from eating and drinking with more difficulty. Crooked teeth. Crooked teeth might look like vampires to us, but in Japan, this kind of teeth symbolizes beauty. It is called yeba in Japanese. Japanese people find it attractive, especially for the girls. It symbolizes the sexual attractiveness of a woman, So Japanese women go to the dental clinics just for the fake crooked teeth. Teeth chiseling. In West Sumatra, Indonesia, the Mentawai people sharpen their teeth with chisel. They practice it without any anesthesia, which is painful. The main purpose of this modification is being an aid to finding a partner. Also, it symbolizes beauty in the inner spirit. Hello everybody, thank you so much for rocking with me till the end of this video. If you're new to my YouTube channel, kindly click on the subscription button to subscribe, and also don't forget to hit the notification bell so you can be able to get notified every time I put out some really good content. And don't forget to like, share and comment as well.